In this video, we're going to calculate the area of a circle. Now, the area of a circle has a very similar formula to circumference, but it's pi r squared instead of 2 pi r. And one way to remember this is area has different units. It's not a length. It has, like inches squared or meters squared. So when you put something into the radius and you square it, you'll get the proper units. In this case, 9 centimeters squared times pi. So just if you're having trouble remembering, you'll usually have these equations, but that's the area formula. So here, a circle has a radius of 4. So what is its area? It's just a matter of a equals pi times 4 meters squared. 4 times 4 is 16. So this area is 16 times pi meters squared is the area. That's really all there is to this. Here's a question where I'm not given the radius, I'm given the diameter. And we just have to quickly say, well, if the diameter is 10 meters, then the radius must be 5. And then say, oh, well, area is pi, again, r, 5 meters squared. 5 times 5 is 25. So this is 25 pi meters squared. And if you had a calculator, you could get this exact number, but it's fine to leave it as pi. Going the other way, you could be given the area and find the radius. So we say area equals pi times r squared. In this case, the area is 20 pi, so I'll plug 20 pi in for the area, equals pi r squared. If I look at this, the pi's will cancel on each side, so I'm left with 20 equals r squared, or r squared equals 20. So then the square root of each side will be r equals the square root of 20. And then if I want to simplify that, I know square root of 20 is the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. Square root of 4 is 2, so this is 2 square roots of 5 is the radius, and the units will be just meters because it's a distance. And that's how you go the other way. Here is the area is 40 meters squared, and what's its radius? So again, area equals pi r squared. If the area is 40, 40 equals pi times r squared. In this case, I would divide each side by pi, so I'd get r squared equals 40 over pi. And then I would take the square root, so r would equal the square root of 40 divided by pi. This is another one I could simplify, because I could say it's the square root of 4 times the square root of 10 over pi, and that would be 2 times the square root of 10 over pi for radius, and that would be, again, in meters. So that's simplifying it a little bit, but the general concept is here. It's just plugging into this formula. One last problem. Here I'm looking for the diameter, so again, area equals pi r squared. The area is 50, and I know pi r squared, so then r squared equals 50 divided by pi. So r equals the square root of 50 over pi. And again, if I want to pull this out, I could say this is really the same as the square root of 25 times the square root of 2 over pi. Square root of the whole thing, just to be clear. Square root of 25 is 5, so the radius is really 5 times the square root of 2 over pi. And that means the diameter would just be double that, so it would be 10 times the square root of 2 over pi meters. And that is pretty much it. So it's just really playing with this formula. It's very similar to the circumference. Just be careful. And if you're ever not sure, you can always plug this answer back into the original equation and see if it works out. It's always a good way to test and see that everything makes sense. So until next time, I am Derek Genova. Have a delightful day.